Hey y'all, welcome to the Mom Mentor Show. Oh my gosh, what a morning. My phone, it like locked up on me just when I was getting ready to be on with you. So I know that it must be a really good topic today, which I think it is. Teaching our kids how to be good siblings and serve and share with each other. I know sharing is a big deal when you have little ones. It's a big deal when you have big ones. It's actually a big deal for all of us. I'm Mona Corwin, and this is Mom Life with Mona. I am considered your virtual mom mentor, and I come on to Facebook Live on Tuesdays and on Fridays. And on Tuesdays, I do a little bit of a serious topic, or not serious topic, but topics that have to do with having a balanced mom life, because that's what my platform is, helping moms find their calling, find their balance, and live their own unique stories. And we do this in our homes, and these are the 4 pillars. Our homes, our gifts and callings, which you have them and you should be using them, and our homes, our marriages, and our kids, and our time with God. What a funny morning. Now the man is here to mow the yard. Yes, he is. He's going to be walking by the window in a minute, so you might hear the weed whipper. But this is a mom life, right? And our lives are always so unexpected. And we don't always have really concrete calendars where everything just fits in. And so that's why we have to learn to have a balanced mom life and figure it all out. So I'm here to help you through the chaos, to kind of find some clarity here and there and have that life that you wanted and live the story you've always dreamed of. So that's who I am and what I do. And like I said, I'm Mona Corwin, and this is Mom Life with Mona. And today we are talking about siblings and how to get them to share and how to get them to serve each other. Can you hear the weed whipper? I love this. It's live, right? It's so live. Okay, so why do we want to have them share anyways? I mean, shouldn't they all have their own stuff? And shouldn't they learn to respect each other's stuff? Which, yes, they should. But it's a little easier to hold your own stuff than it is to share your own stuff. So it is something that we have to teach. It's just part of the way we're designed. We don't come out of our mommy's tummies just figuring it all out and being warm and wonderful and sharing and serving. It's something we have to teach our kids. And it's something you had to learn, and it's something that the man is staring at me. What the heck? Anyways, we have all had to learn this. We have all had to learn this. So where do we start? We start with why. Why do we do it? We do it because Jesus did it. We do it because God did it. God was uniquely himself. He is fully not walked over like a mat, like you walk on a mat. He's fully who he is, but he serves. And Jesus was the perfect example of that when we saw him on the earth. So we need to teach our kids to be like that, because if we really want them to grow up and be like Jesus, then we need to start teaching them early. And we start teaching them with the people that they love the most and the people that are in their sphere of influence and people that will love them when they mess up, like you. You are the one that will love them when they mess up. The siblings are the ones that will love them when they mess up. And you will help them all figure it out together, so they learn quickly how to share and how to serve. We want them to have a servant's heart, right? Okay, so let's get started. The reason we do it, the why we do it, is because we want them to be like Jesus. And we want to learn them to learn it in a safe community of our home, which is another reason why home's so important. Okay, so here's my tips for sharing. Of course, I think that everybody needs to learn to respect other people's toys and respect other people's belongings, hair curlers and stuff like that. But we have to learn to share some things. So find some things that they really like and allow them to share. I know that a lot of kids have video games, And so sharing like everybody doesn't have a video game in their room. Like we have one. We have a Wii and it sits out in the living room. And if we're going to get games, we get games where they interact and they can have fun with it. Our oldest son liked video games way more than the rest of them, but even he had to learn how to share with his younger siblings. But if each one of them has their own favorite, then we learn to share in a common ground. Does that make sense? So another thing that we learn to share is maybe with girls, they have their dolls or they have their hair bows or something like that, or things that they love to play with, their jump ropes or whatever. I mean, some girls like to play video games, I guess, but mostly our girls fought over stuff girl stuff. So have a few things that they share together. And it can't be something that they just kind of don't like. It can't be like the Chutes and Ladders board game that's up in the closet. You know what I mean? It needs to be something that they really enjoy. And buy one. Don't buy them both one. Buy one. And we share it because we can share. All right, that's really, really important. And it's an easy place to start. Then another one is as they get older, have cool clothes. Like a cool piece of clothes or cool pair of tennis shoes that they share. Mom's buying one and we're gonna share them. And you wanna wear them one day and they learn how to negotiate. Very, very important and easy to do when they both want to do it so bad because it's a thing that they really like and love. As they get older, when you have older girls, maybe it's like a really cool necklace. Well, this isn't a really cool necklace, but I mean, you know, just if they have really cool necklaces, maybe a Kinder Sagat or something that they want, and say, you know, Mom will buy that, but we're gonna share it. At Christmas time, buy toys and things that they can share. My husband was real good about this, bringing home surprise gifts. We always call them dad gifts at Christmas time. And he would bring home things that they could share. Like one time it was a pinball machine. Yeah, and it was in our kitchen for like a month. Another time was a ping pong table. Another time it was a go-kart. And yeah, you're seeing the how we run with this. So have things that they can share. Games that they can play outside that are really cool, that make it fun. A basketball hoop is really important. Our kids should be outside having fun. As you know, as the mom mentor, I believe kids need to be outside a whole lot more than they're getting to. And I know it's scary and I know it's not easy, but you know what? You're just gonna have to take a book or something that you love to do and go sit outside with them sometimes, because I know it's the world's not a super, super safe place. Okay, so let them share toys, cool clothes, stuff like that. Bathrooms. My kids, when we built our homes, we always put in Jack and Jill bathrooms. And the reason that we did that is that we wanted them to learn how to share time. Time in the bathroom, time in the, time doing, you know, their hair, or having respect and knocking on the door. And now Max and Mallory were a boy and a girl, but I wanted them to learn how to respect the fact that a boy needs to knock on the door, and to have my daughter respect the time that she can't have all the time in the bathroom that she wants. And so I think sharing bathrooms is a really, really good thing for kids to learn. I think it's a good thing for an entire family to learn. If you only have one bathroom, your kids are learning something that other people aren't. So just know that. Okay, and then of course cars when they get old enough, which I know most of you aren't, but keep this in mind that it goes all the way up to have them share cars. My kids were far enough apart that they didn't really share cars, but they had to share. Mallory would have to drive Max places, and Brett, of course, Brett loved to drive the kids places because he was like the big brother and he could take them to eat ice cream and stuff. So they were really good about offering and taking their siblings places. When there was conflict, we just kind of went back to the same thing. In this family, we share. We do things for, we serve our brothers and sisters in our family. Okay, that leads us to serving. And in the serving, I think one of the best ways to get them to serve at the beginning, I'm all about the chore charts. I love chore charts, and I love scheduled things that are on the board that the kids can see And it helps them remember. Their attention spans aren't real long, and so it helps them remember what they're supposed to do. But I really think that sometimes it's like, that's not my job, that's your job. It creates this friction between who's got the easier job. And so I highly suggest that you have several of the chores that they do together. Dishes are always done together in our house. I think that like at times Molly and Andresa, they kind of made a deal. I'll do the dishes tonight and you do them tomorrow, which is great when you're negotiating for a little bit and you're older. But I really wanted my children to do the dishes themselves. They have to walk around each other. They have to decide who's going to do the basket, who's going to rinse off the dishes. And it creates a working where they're actually living together and they're working together and they're serving each other. Yeah, here, let me get that for you. I'll get that on the table. Or here, would you put this in the laundry room? That kind of cooperation that can only take place when you have to work together. And when you don't want to do it, it's like, how fast can we get this done? Y'all quit arguing. Figure it out, because when we are done, we're going to have popcorn and watch a movie, or we're going to go for a walk, or we're going to go for a bike ride. So I think highly suggest that they do things together. Dishes is a great one. Making beds, if your kids are 7 and 8. Making beds together. Make your beds together. You get on this side, you get on that side, stay in the room with them, and help them walk through making the bed together. And then they can laugh. Eventually, they will have fun together doing things like that. Picking up the toy room, okay, that's a no-brainer. Everybody should be picking up the toy room. But I mean, that takes a long time. If it wasn't our toy room, that was always a mess. But it needs to be fast things, like taking out the garbage. You open the door, so they're doing it together, but it's quick. So sharing chores, dishes, making the beds. Of course, pulling weeds. I would make my kids pull weeds when they were in trouble. But that didn't last very long because it's really hot here in Texas, and oh my gosh, the grief. So some things like you want done, you're not going to get them to do it. So pick something that's doable, quick, that they can learn how to serve and do things together. Okay, another big serving is to have them make each other's lunch. I would let them say, I'm making lunches today and you're making lunches tomorrow. I did catch them at some points saying, I'll make my own lunch, you make your own lunch. You're gonna make your sister's lunch. You're gonna make your brother's lunch. And the reason for that is that I want them to learn to get to know what the other person likes. Like Molly liked a lot of jelly. Andresa didn't like hardly any jelly. And then when they came back home and they're like, my sandwich was terrible. Like, if you didn't like your sandwich, help your sister understand what you like about the sandwich, how you want it to be. And then they would have to communicate, I don't really like a lot of jelly. And then the jokes started. Yes, they did. And they would start putting things in one another's lunch. Like, I think one time, Andresa put a can of soup, literally a can of soup in Molly's lunch with her other stuff, like just to be silly. I'm going to have on my website, probably this afternoon or tomorrow, some lunchbox encouragement notes that you can just print off and put in your kids' lunches, and some jokes that you can cut off and print off and cut up and put in their lunches. But let the kids put those things in their brothers and sisters' lunches. So I guess that's it. Mostly we want our kids to learn to share and serve because, like I said again, it's like Jesus. But they're not going to come across it simply, and they're not going to come across it all by themselves. You're going to have to help them, little mama. And it's one of the blessings of being a mom, is to be able to teach them to serve one another and to share with one another. Because when they do, they will learn to serve and share the world. And quite frankly, that's what my kids are doing right now. They're out serving and sharing. Max and Mallory still live together, and they still have to work stuff out. But I think in the long run, you will be glad that you did. Okay. This is Mom Life with Mona, and we've had a quick little run on reviews and tips. And on next Tuesday, I'm going to be talking to you about rituals and habits that will make your life better. So hope to see you on Tuesday, Mom Life with Mona, and I think it'll be about 10 o'clock. I'm still messing around with the time, just trying to find out what works for everybody. So that's it. Have a really great weekend, and remember, you can have a balanced mom life if you put your attention at the appropriate place, at the appropriate time, and the appropriate amount. So little mama, go out there and have a balanced day today.